Run It Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJ Ace with Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. You know the drill. Algo Gang. Hit the like button. Giving you this content multiple times a day. You just hit the like button. That's all you do. That's all you need to do. That's all you do. You just hit the like button. That's all you do. Subscribe to the channel. Put something in the comments. Give me your opinion on this. I want to go over some advanced statistics from the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics game last night, because once I started to look at the advanced statistics, a couple of things really stood out that are not good, okay? And I know it's the first game of the season. I know there's some growing pains. I know there's a lot of games in the season for us to figure some things out. But when you look at these advanced stats, we need to figure them out. This is brought to you by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code NOINTRO20 for 20% off and free shipping. Let's just jump right over to the advanced stats and let's look at them. There's a couple of things that stood out. So the main reasons we lost the game last night. Look, you can talk about Joel Embiid. You can talk about James Harden, Tyrese, Maxey, whatever you want to talk about. We lost the game because of our defense, our bench, and certain players' usage rates. There are two main things I want to talk about in this video is Joel Embiid's usage rate last night, and where's the advanced stats? There we go. Joel Embiid's usage rate last night, and the on-off percentages for Joel Embiid when, the numbers when he's on the floor, the numbers when he's off the floor. The first thing to look at with these advanced stats right here is this usage rate right here, okay? Joel Embiid's usage rate last night was a 32.9%. And I just begged the question. I'm just asking a question here. With Tyrese Maxey being the offensive threat that he definitely is, with James Harden looking the way that he looked last night, which is a lot better than last season, and he did put up 35 points, and with Joel Embiid looking as kind of out of it, out of sync, say out of shape if you want, what have you, should Joel Embiid's usage rate be 32.9%? And, James Harden, who put up 35 points, his usage rate was only 22.6. And, his usage rate in Houston was massive. And I'm not saying we should do that, but Tyrese Maxey's usage rate was 20.7. All I'm saying is I think these numbers right here, this usage percentage, we need to get that to be more even across the board if we want to have success. I know Joel Embiid's the best center since Shaquille O'Neal. I know he's one of the most skilled centers I've ever seen play the game. But can you ultimately win in the NBA by using your center 33% of the offensive possessions? Now, aside from his usage percentage, he said he wants the Sixers to be the best defensive team in the NBA. And he said he wants to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a defensive rating of 139.2 for Joel Embiid last night is not going to get that done. I know this is the Boston Celtics. I know this is the second best team in the NBA last year. They were in the NBA Finals. But Joel Embiid's defensive rating last night was a 139.2. PJ Tucker, who, we signed in the offseason. He's a dog. He's supposed to be that hustle guy, that lockdown guy. He's 37 years old. We gave him 3 years, $30 million. His defensive rating was a 130.8. The other thing I want to talk about is the bench rotations when it comes to Doc Rivers, okay? Because DeAnthony Melton, who I was happy we signed, I think he's going to be good for this team. I think there's a lot to figure out. But DeAnthony Melton, I thought he made some good plays last night. I thought he had a couple of steals or a couple of play-extending kind of pluckaways and diving on the floor and things like that. But DeAnthony Melton's defensive rating was a 150.0. That's very bad. Montrezl Harrell, usage percentage was 16%. I think that's an insane number for Montrezl Harrell off the bench. When Montrezl Harrell was on the floor, his usage rating was 16%. I know Montrezl Harrell can score under the basket. I know Montrez can do certain things, but I think that's way too high. Also, just the rotation in general. You know, Doc Rivers played 9 guys last night. We knew this was now a deep team. We know we signed a lot of guys that can help us in the playoffs. But, you know, did you think you weren't going to see any Shake Milton or any Paul Reed? You know, I didn't think I wasn't going to see any Shake Milton or any Paul Reed. 20 minutes for DeAnthony Melton off the bench is a lot. And in the preseason, I saw DeAnthony Melton and Shake Milton on the floor together. And I thought that worked. And I thought that's something that we were going to see this season, and hopefully it is. Because I think Shake brings a different element that DeAnthony Melton doesn't bring, and I think DeAnthony Melton brings an element that Shake doesn't bring, and I think they should both be used off the bench. I definitely don't understand 20 minutes off the bench for DeAnthony Melton and 0 minutes for Shake Milton. So we'll see if that changes. Montrezl Harrell off the bench 10 minutes, all of the backup center minutes, 0 minutes for Paul Reed, and a lot of people are pointing it out, and a lot of people are correct about it. There was times in this game where we were lacking energy. We needed a spark off the bench, and we saw no Paul Reed. And I say what I say about Matisse Thybulle's shooting woes, but, you know, Matisse Thybulle's that guy you can bring in and get a little bit of a spark off the bench, get some turnovers, frustrate the other team's offense, at least for a couple minutes, and we saw none of that. So, you know, the defensive ratings are terrible when you really look at the advanced stats for this game, and the bench rotation was nothing short of questionable when it comes to Doc Rivers. And look, at the end of the day, I said this in the middle of the summer, and I'll say it again, Doc Rivers is going to kill us. It doesn't matter what we do. We're not going to win a championship with Doc Rivers. It's just not going to happen. He just showed you in one game that he's completely incompetent when it comes to player rotations. I have no expectations for a Doc Rivers-led team whatsoever. My hope is that he gets fired a couple weeks into the season. I don't know if that's actually possible, but we'll see. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the on-off differential when it comes to Joel Embiid on this team. Because when you really look at these numbers, these are really, really, really bad. Now, all of these numbers on top of here are all of the years prior. So this is 2022-23. This is 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. And a couple of numbers you really want to look at is, first of all, right here. Okay, so we've been a positive net rating with Joel Embiid on the floor his entire career. And last night, we were a minus 33.5 with Joel Embiid on the floor last night. That's mind-blowing. I can't even draw a conclusion to that. Our points per possession last night. Points per possession with Joel Embiid on the floor his whole career have been positive. Plus 10 for a whole season 2 years ago. Last night, minus 3.8 points per possession with Joel Embiid on the floor. We shot 11 less free throws last night with Joel Embiid on the floor. This is the worst part, I think, about this, is the opponent's points per possession. It's been a minus Joel Embiid's whole career. Last night, the Boston Celtics were a plus 29 when Joel Embiid was on the floor. That's astonishing, and it's very bad. And, it's the first game. I don't think it's going to stay like that the whole season, but it's just something to look at, something to talk about. It is not good. Plus 30 the Boston Celtics were when Joel Embiid was on the floor. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Our turnover percentage when Joel Embiid was on the floor was a minus 15.7%. Our offensive rebound percentage was a minus 22.1%. So, yeah, I just wanted to drill it home, basically, that we were not good last night whatsoever. When you really look at the advanced stats, we were Joel Embiid's role in this offense. Joel Embiid hurt us more than he helped us last night when you really look at the advanced stats. And that's something that Doc Rivers is going to have to figure out moving forward, because he's the best center in the game. We know that. But can you win an NBA championship with your center being the number one option? Should Joel Embiid have a 32.9% usage rate versus James Harden's 21 and Tyrese Maxey's 20? Should this offense run mostly through James Harden and the Joel Embiid, James Harden pick and rolls and Tyrese Maxey than it does Joel Embiid? Is it good to slow down the game and try to force Joel Embiid in the post all the time in today's NBA? I have serious questions, and I want you to answer them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Peace.